How's it going, everybody? This is Beat the Bush. Today we're going to take apart this Runstar body composition monitor to see how it's made. If you look on the back of this, there's actually no screw holes on the main piece for you to just sort of take it apart. What I had to do is remove this glass piece from the top, which is kind of stuck in there with a lot of sticky tape. It's held down by 4 corners of sticky tape, top, bottom, left, right, and also center. There's also a strip there. What's notable is these 4 electrode wires. These 4 metal plates that are just mounted on top of the glass. It's just glued on there. And then when you flip it over, the back is painted gray, and there are holes here that allows the wires to get to those electrodes. Once you have this piece off, which pretty much ruins it because I have to wedge something in there and it kind of scrapes off the paint, the entire device feels pretty hefty. The piece of glass alone, it's 3 pounds 10 ounces, and the base of the scale weighs 1 pound 12 ounces, and the handle part weighs 9.8 ounces. So this glass piece accounts for a significant portion of the entire product's weight. Once you get to this point, there's a bunch of screws that you need to remove. 4 on top, 4 on the bottom, and 4 on the side. So that's 12 screws, and it just lifts right off. We'll take a look at the bottom first, which is just 4 corners of plastic feet, and each of them has like a little spring piece that'll hold it in place. And these little plates is non-magnetic, it's just a piece of metal. It's just held in there by friction. If I put 2 of these guys next to each other, see, it's not magnetic. And those metal pieces comes into contact with these load cells in the corner. These load cells is like a very thick piece of metal. When you put weight on it, it bends a little bit and changes the resistance that's attached to this thing on the other side. We'll open it. See what's on the other side. When this whole thing bends, it will change its resistance, and this change is monitored by the base board. There's 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, so each one can handle a maximum of 100 pounds. When you stand on it, you might be a little bit towards this side. This might read like 60 pounds, and then 20 pounds, 20 pounds, 20 pounds. So it adds it all up and your total weight is 120 pounds. There's a microcontroller over here and a lithium ion battery cell, and it's charged through the USB-C port over here with the reset button right there. So it's a very simple circuitry. Looks like it's not connecting any data lines, only power it's going through there. And then the switch is likely that white line over there, so 3 lines. Here's a close-up of the microcontroller. You have your load cell. Let me just remove these so we can see it clear. Interesting that they're using double-sided tape, even though it doesn't need to be double-sided when attaching these wires here. Is this the same width as what they apply on the glass? It's a little bit wider. So you have the battery coming in here, 1 load cell, 2 load cell, the sense wires going into this controller board in 4 spots, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's this cable with a lot of conductors that goes to the display handle over here, 2 more load cell inputs, and this is the USB charging and the reset button. We also have the cable reeler for the display. I removed basically all the electronics already. There's this battery. Pull it off from there. The battery is held down with the same square double-sided tape as the one they use for the glass over here. Really, really sticky. The base color is actually white. They painted over it with this gray color. Flip it over. Yes, it's also white here. So this is it, just a piece of plastic. We can salvage these little pieces of magnets. You can use it for some other thing and possibly salvage these little discs. These might be useful. But with these 2 plastic pieces, I can pretty much just discard in the landfill bin. And this is just a piece of glass. No active electronics, just 2 pieces of metal. If I try hard enough, I can probably pry them off, but I don't think that's necessary. I'll just toss this as well. So you have these load cells. I don't plan on using these load cells, so I'm just gonna recycle these. The lithium ion battery might be useful in another product that has something of similar size. This little cable reeler thing. Let's open this up. The input of this cable gets kind of held in place right here. There's probably going to be a spring underneath. It might just pop open. Oh, there we go. It just popped. There we go. Look at that. It's going to go crazy here. It's spring loaded, so, you know, I pretty much ruined it. So this is what's responsible for reeling in that large cable with lots of conductors. Now we have the handlebar section. This one's much easier to remove with just these screws. I removed them already, and we can just pop it open. I've also removed the cable from the controller board and that little winder thing. We can see it wind over here. If I just kind of pull this off, this is held down by like a little clip. Let's see if I can pull it open. Here's that clip. Probably just come right out, yeah. There you go. Notice that the hole right here is just wide enough for that connector so they can just thread it right through. Put that grommet in there, put the clip in, and it will be held in place very securely. So let's pull that out. We don't need this cable. This side also has 4 electrodes, so 4 plus 4, there's 8 total. The 4 electrodes come out and attaches to these 4 kind of like stainless steel plates. When you look at it from the outside, it looks pretty substantial, like it's made of metal and all, but when you look at it from the inside, it looks like it's just a thin piece of stainless steel. They did solder it right here for this piece, and this piece is probably just glued in. Glued in by very, very sticky tape for the thumb area. And for the finger area, let me open that. So this kind of peels off. It's also held down with some double-sided tape. Can pull that right out. There appears to be a piece of reinforcement metal here. From the outside, it does look like a thin piece of metal, but when you take it out, it's really thin, just enough to be used as an electrode. Remove these 2 screws and these 2 on the PC board. The screen is underneath. Got to remove a few more screws here. And here is the screen assembly. There are 2 wires for the backlight. And this is quite interesting because this is the backlight itself. See, it's not connected to anything. And this bar is what makes the connection to the LCD. It just sits on top of these gold-plated connections. And that's how it's connected, just like that. It just sits on top like that. It has what appears to be the LCD driver over here that spreads out to a lot of these connections that comes on the back over here. And this guy communicates with the main controller board. There's yet another controller here. It's separated. This one is for the screen and this one does other controls. So that's it. Pretty simple. Salvage wise, it's likely going to be really difficult to reuse this screen. So I'm just going to recycle it. You could repurpose this little back screen for lighting something, but I don't think I'll have a need for this. The only thing of interest to me is these 4 magnets. A couple of these non-magnetic discs might come in handy, and maybe these little strips that I salvaged. Most of these plastic screws you probably won't reuse, so I'll just toss these. So there you go, the body composition scale. Oh, I'll probably salvage this battery here. It kind of feels heavy because there's a big piece of glass in it. However, when you look at the actual electronics and the pieces of metal, it's actually very thin. I've done a review on this scale, which I will leave in the video description as well. But if you guys are interested in this scale, check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.